Seasons, greetings everybody. This is Bev, Clark Vision, and I know it feels like it's been ages actually since I've done a video, but I've had a ton of things going on, busy, non-Christmas stuff, which has just added to the busyness, and well, Christmas just kind of creeps up on you, doesn't it? So we're almost there as far as that goes now. And so I've had a few things coming in from eBay, and I went to a car boot sale a couple of weekends ago, just to see if there was anything, and I did pick up a couple of things which I'm going to save for another video, because one of the things I picked up was this person was selling a load of CDs, and they were all in this huge shopping bag, this big shopper, the ones that you buy and you keep and you reuse, and it was full to the brim, and she says, oh, well, you know, you can have the whole lot for a tenner sort of thing. But I didn't know what was in it, and it was just a whole mix of their stuff. So I thought, well, I'll take a chance. You never know what's in it. So I gave her a tenner and came away with this bag. Plus I picked up a couple of vinyl from that as well, but they weren't metal or rock. They were just kind of pop, more so, I would say. But I'll save all that for another video, because I was thinking of just maybe showing the CD collection that I've got, and if there's anything anybody fancies out of that lot, then they can have it. I'll just send it out, because some of them are in reasonably poor condition, and there's a lot of surface scratches on some of them. The person, I don't think, took very good care of their CD collection, but there is a few that are good as well, so if anyone is interested in anything, they can let me know. But yeah, I'll keep that for another video. But what I wanted to show you is my other things I've gathered up, just from recent finds and cheap bargains and eBay purchases, etc. So yeah, I tried to bid on something from a guy in Germany. It was a grail I was trying to get hold of, but I was outbid on that. But the guy had another album, which I've picked up, so I'll just get that one out of the way first. This was going quite cheaply, and it's another copy of On Through the Night. I absolutely adore this album. Def Leppard's debut from 1980. This is the European pressing, made in Holland, this one. I think I've got about 3 copies of this on record. Haven't I? No, 4 maybe copies of this on record, so this might be the 5th. But I kind of wanted another one, and it looks really good, because I'm kind of thinking I might want to put it on the wall in the background at some point. Well, if it's another copy, I can have plenty to listen to. And this was in such good condition. It just came with the plain, but it is poly-lined, which is good. And this one's on the Spaceship Vertigo label. Vinyl's in lovely condition. And for the price the guy was selling this one at, I managed to land this quite nice a price. So that was another copy of On Through the Night. I had a couple of cassettes that I've picked up very cheaply. This one is Great Whites. This is Twice Shy. I've got one spitting on CD. I never managed to get this one back in the day, and so the cassette. So I jumped on it. The cassette, it looks a bit like it's been well used actually, because you can the writing on here has kind of been rubbed off of it. But as I say, it was a bargain price. This album is what the devil was this again? 1989 or something, I think. Yeah, 1989 this one came out. And so there are your lyrics and credits, etc. and band picture and track listing, etc. Capitol Records. And this one I picked up, I'm obviously trying to get this other one on vinyl or CD, but the cassette would suffice at the moment because I absolutely adore this album. So this is the Cult and Sonic Temple. Absolute brilliant album. I'm sure many of you are aware of that one. So again, this was going really cheap. This one's in a bit nicer condition as well, but and we're on the Beggar's Banquet. Is that the record? I think it is. Yeah. So yeah, as you know, this has the just many superb tracks on this album. No lyrics or anything on here, just got band picture and credits there. The other side is blank, but really nice condition. So I was chuffed to get a copy of that just to tide me over until I get another format. So that's 2 cassettes. The next 2 Megadeth CDs that I said I had ordered in my Megadeth adventure, I'm pretty sure they're both originals. I know one is definitely, I think this is also original. What the heck is this one again? Aye, Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? This is 1986, Capitol Records. Got this fairly cheap on eBay, so I was very happy to get a hold of that. CD's in excellent condition. So yeah, this is the one I listened to on YouTube initially and thought, well, it's actually not as bad or as thrashy as I was initially thinking. And the other one that came again, really quite a decent price, and it's Rust in Peace, original press on this one is 1990, and again it's in great condition. So I was quite chuffed to grab these. So again, we shall be examining these, listening to them, and I'll probably provide an update on these ones later on, seeing what I think. So that is these 2. I should just pull them there. Some other ones I found quite cheap. I saw this, spotted this, so I grabbed it. Hammerfall. Initially when I first saw it I thought it was an album, but heeding the call, it's actually a single, even though it's in like an album style case. But this is a CD single from 1998 this came out. I think I can't even remember what album it came off, to be honest, because I'm kind of just new to Hammerfall. But you do get 5 tracks in total on this. You get the single, Heeding the Call, you get Eternal Dark, and then you've got 3 live tracks, The Metal Age, Steel Meets Steel, and Stone Cold. And the disc again's in a lot of condition. You get kind of a nice picture logo of the HF, and that's like a sword there. So yeah, I was chuffed to get that very cheaply. I picked up a CD of this is a Scottish Celtic rock band, kind of very traditional Scottish Celtic folky, but they are quite rocky. I really like their style actually. So this is Wolfstone, and the album Year of the Dog. This came out in 1994. And there's your track listing there, if you can make that out. Excellent band. It's the kind of music I like to listen to on Hogmanay, so probably will be giving them a spin about them. And this one I spotted as well. I put in an offer for this one. It's cost me £5, this one actually. I don't know if it's because it's a little bit tricky to get, but this was their debut album, Wolfstone. This one's titled Unleashed, which was on Iona Records in 1991. It is a Scottish label. So yeah, great stuff, Celtic rock. And then I picked up a bunch of CDs. Cliff Richard came on the radar. Aye, that's what all you metalheads are going to love this, but Cliff Richard came on the radar recently because my mum wants his latest album for Christmas, and it got me thinking about an old song of Cliff's from 1989, I think it was. And I know my brother had the CD single, so he must still have it because I was hunting about for it and I couldn't find it in my collection, so my brother must have it. But I decided I wanted to hear it again, so on eBay I went and found one going very cheaply. So this is the CD single that we used to have, Lean On You. It comes, you get the extended version, the regular album version, and another song called Hey Mister. But this is a great song. It's very 80s classic, big production, really good sound. I love that. And so yeah, since I was on a Cliff Richard kick, I picked up a couple of others. My mum has this on the Fat, the bulky dual case. When I saw this on the slim version, the 2-disc set, I thought I'll just grab it for myself because this is, the hit list, it's kind of a 35th anniversary best of, so if you're wanting just a general flavour of Cliff Richard, this is a good one to get. It pretty much covers everything from his first track, Move It, in 1958, right up to kind of like 1990, 1990 roughly. This compilation's 94, but this pretty much covers the era that I liked, right up to 90. After that, I kind of lost. There's nothing I've really liked of him since, that I've heard anyway. So yeah, it was in brilliant condition. It's on EMI. There's Cliff Richard's label and 2 discs there. Then I picked up another CD album of Cliff's. This is 1989, this album, Stronger, which has a few songs on it that I am aware of from back in the late 80s, including Lean On You, that CD single. It also has the Stockache and Waterman song, Just Don't Have the Heart, he did with them. That was a hit, I think, as well. Stronger Than That, The Best of Me, that's a brilliant song, it's a ballad. I think Richard Marx had a hand in writing that one. So yeah, and another Cliff one which I loved, Mum had the VHS video of this. This was The Event, which was his, I think this was his 40th anniversary, so this was initially filmed in 1988 at Wembley Stadium, the old Twin Towers Wembley, and it's just a great set list. You've got his early stuff from the 50s and 60s right through to some of the later stuff of the time. You have Saviour's Day on here, which was his Christmas single from 1990. Again, it's pretty much my era of Cliff Richard stuff. So just beefed up some Cliff Richard there. I thought it'd be good to have. And I spotted this as well on eBay, which was going really cheaply, and I had a look at the track listing and it's actually got a lot of the sort of 60s, 70s songs of Cliff's that I quite like on it, and this is Cliff Richard Live. Never heard this album before, but it's got some of his classics there, you know. You've got medleys and covers of other things like Jailhouse Rock, Great Balls of Fire, and you've got Living Doll, Bachelor Boy, Congratulations, The Young Ones, Move It. That's just, you know, if you've never heard Cliff Richard's Move It, that was his first single. It's got this opening guitar riff. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. So this was 1972. This album was released from EMI, and it's in lovely condition. There's just a slight mark where there's been a sticker up here. So I've yet to listen to it. It just had the plain inner, and it's on the, hang on a minute, just music for pleasure label there. I'm just going to keep it in that sleeve thing. So yep, and it was, I think it cost me about £4 to grab this. So, and in the condition it's in, I was pretty chuffed. That's, I think, personally my first Cliff Richard album I own on vinyl. Everything else, Cliff, vinyl-wise, is more mum and dad's actually. So, that takes care of the CDs and cassettes as well. So the rest of the stuff I've been collecting is vinyl. So I'm trying to think of something for a minute here actually. But anyway, so somebody recently had shown, it's another VC member, and I'm just forgetting what your YouTube name is, your channel name is off the top of my head, but he did a terrific a review of Def Leppard's last album, the self-titled thing, saying how rubbish it was, and I just totally agreed with that. And so I subbed to his channel, and he'll know who he is, I think. And I was watching one of his updates, and he showed this particular band. So it's down to him really that he's pointed me in the direction of this band to check them out, because when he showed them, I had a quick check on YouTube and one or two of their songs. And I saw somebody else, I think it was just last night, Headbanging Zulu Steve, he showed a Molly Hatchet recently. So this is their self-titled, I think this is their debut, 1978, original pressing, and it's in very good condition. It's just got a little bit of wear there, it's not burst or anything, but it's in really good condition. Spot of ring wear there. But this was going pretty cheap, so American Southern Rock, they're kind of known as. Comes with a lyric sleeve. Sure, this is an original pressing, but I might be wrong. I don't know. And it's on Epic. Vinyl's in really good condition. It just needs a bit of a clean. So yeah. Molly Hatchet. I had heard the name of this band, so I've known they've been around for a while, but I've never really, one of these bands I never sort of got into or paid attention to. So there you go, just thought I would try them out. And then another eBay seller, this one's been on my want list for a while, and I've been looking to get it at a reasonable price because it's always been quite expensive. And so this, I did a search one day, and this seller had one up at a price I was willing to pay. The condition looked great, so I put in a bid, and they actually had two albums that I was interested in, so I put in a bid on both of them and won. This was the first one, and it's Saracen Change of Heart. I think this is Saracen's second album. Now I think they were originally classed as part of the new wave of British heavy metal. They came out in that sort of period. And I do have their first album. I have a reissue of that one. And this, as I say, is their second. And it's always been quite highly priced, at £25 upwards. I didn't really want to pay that. So this copy I landed for £12. And this is 1984 this came out. It was recorded at Impulse Studios February, March. And it's on Neat Records. That's the track listed at the top here. And with this you get just the plain lyric sheet that came with it, and it was in a plain sleeve as well. I've put it into a poly lined, and as I say, it's on Meat Records label, so you can sort of see it there. So that is Saracen Change of Heart. So I was really quite delighted to get a hold of this. It cost me £12 for this, which is the cheapest I've seen it in a pretty decent condition. I've had it on already and it's really good. There's no crackling or nothing on the record. It's fantastic condition. So I was delighted to get a hold of that. And the other album this seller had, and I put in a bid for in one, I couldn't believe it, was Judas Priest Point of Entry. I don't have this album on CD yet either, because I'm collecting them all on the CDs, but I've never owned this album, and so to get this, and I got it for £5, I was pretty astonished actually. So yeah, this is 1981, this album, CBS Records, and I don't know that this is the first press, and it might be a second press because it's got a hype sticker saying it features Don't Go in Hot Rockin'. It has had another sticker, but you know, I'm going to leave that one on because no doubt it might potentially damage. It comes in a plain sleeve again. I've still to clean this record yet, but it looks pretty decent. We're on the Sunset coloured label from CBS, so yes, absolutely thrilled to get an original 80s pressing Point of Entry, so I'm quite excited to get that. Now, so as I say, I got the Saracen and Judas Priest for that seller, and then I paid for the two, and then she got back to me and she says, I'm having a clear out, I've got more records here from blah blah blah, and she listed off a bunch of people. Are you interested in any more? She says, if so, you can have them £2 each. And because it's near Christmas, I thought, well, I need to watch my pennies here, so I picked another 3 that I thought, well, I'll just go for them. They're artists I know exist, I'm aware of, but I've never really heard anything from them before, but I thought for £2 I'll get them, see what they're like. So the other 3 that she sent, I just picked out 10cc. Now, and most of you have heard of 10cc. They're more poppy kind of thing. And this is Deceptive Bends. Interesting on cover there, obviously. And this is on Phonogram Mercury. That's the back cover, and it's in lovely condition again. This person's obviously looked after their records over the time, and I thought some of the song titles were quite amusing, I think. Such as Marriage Bureau Rendezvous, sounds interesting. You've got Honeymoon with B Troop. I bought a flat guitar tutor. Now I don't know if that's maybe A flat or whatever. There's another one called You've Got a Cold. So I don't know what this is like. I mean, I've heard the odd 10cc song, but so for £2 I picked it, and it comes in this advertising inner sleeve from whatever the record company is. Did I say there? Mercury Phonogram, so it's got the dark blue Mercury label there. So that's Deceptive Bends, 10cc. For a couple of quid. And I'm pleased to say this seller wrapped, there was 5 records I got in total, and she wrapped them really well in a box and all, cushioned, etc. The next one I picked from this seller is Atomic Rooster. And I've heard of this band as well, but I'm not really familiar with them, so if anybody knows anything about these bands that I'm mentioning here, let me know what you think. This one is 1980, this one. I guess that's the 2 main chaps in the band. Vincent Crane, John Ducan, Preston Heyman, EMI Records. Again, it looks in really good condition. And we have just your standard inner and the standard EMI label from the time. So again, that's Atomic Rooster. It looks to be a self-titled, from what I can tell. And the last one I picked for, now I was aware of this person, heard of her, so but again, it's not someone I'm really ever got into before, but I opted for Toya, and it's a Warrior Rock. It's Toya on tour, so this is a live album. It's a double album, and it's a gatefold sleeve, so we've got all that. Two pictures from inside. That's the back cover there. So its album was recorded on 17th and 18th of July 1982 at the Hammersmith Odeon in London. Towards the end of Toya's 25-date UK tour, it says here. So we shall find out what that sounds like. As I say, I know of her, but and in this one you have a biographical discography there, telling you about her records, which is released from January 79 through to this point, I guess. And they both just plain sleeves, but it's on Safari record label. Yeah, 1982 Safari Records Limited. Part of Warner Brothers. This is quite a solid. This is not. You know how some of the 80s stuff were flimsy, but the earlier 80s were more solid. It's quite a heavy duty record. This. So that's that one. The other record, the other vinyl will be the same. So why not? So I've got plenty to get listening to because pretty much all of the stuff in here, well, most of it, I've still listened to. I have had one or two of them. And the last one is I just got in this week. Another band, which very hard to find the original of, but I discovered they had reissued this album just in 2017. And this band is Wolf, and the album Edge of the World. Now, this was the only album this band ever released, I believe. They used to be known as Black Axe, and I think they also used to be known as something else as well at one point. But they again emerged in the new wave of British heavy metal tag, if you like. They came out under that umbrella. Now this album, I think it was initially released about 1983 or 4, but the songs had kind of been written earlier than that. Now, because this is a reissue, it's very nicely done. And it's been reissued on HR Records. That's that down there. That's the back cover. And it does say there, Wolf, aka Black Axe, it says there. So, first thing you get is HR Records. You've got a list of everything that they've released so far, up to HR 666, funnily enough, which happens to be Procession and Doom Desolation. Sounds like something that Mark G with a C might be interested in. So you get that. You get a nice lyric booklet thing, because this is the front here, and it opens out, and you've got like quite a substantial story of the history of the band, with, I think, interview stuff from band members here telling you about the history of the band. And yeah, so it does say January 1980, So I think from about 1980 was when some of these songs started emerging, and it didn't get put onto the album until, yes, 1984 is when the album appeared. So yeah, so interesting stuff indeed, and it's a good listen, this album. It is kind of sounds like a bit from that era, from the 1980. Oh aye, and the other thing you get with it is you get a poster which came with this reissue, and it's just a poster of the album cover, which is kind of cool, I suppose. That's basically it, which is a nice touch. It's quite a smart album cover, I guess. And the record itself, plain, but it's a polyline sleeve, which is excellent. And it's on translucent or transparent blue. You can sort of see through that. And the customised label. So that's side 2, there is side 1. And it's a really good album, so I was quite pleased to get that. I did have to get it from Germany, it came from, because as I say, I was looking around and it's quite hard to get a hold of this. There's a CD version of it as well, but obviously vinyl is my choice. So this has gotten a wee bit long. I think it's because I've just, had a bit more to show and I haven't been around for a while. But what I do want to say to everybody is, wherever you are in the world, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes, and hope 2019's a good year for everybody. And thanks to everybody in the vinyl community or the music community who subscribes and watches my channel, because it's very much appreciated. Like all of you, I just enjoy sharing my love of music and collecting music, and it's down to a lot of you guys that I am expanding my knowledge and collection with loads and loads of different bands that I kind of didn't know existed back in the day, so, and I hope Santa Claus, if you've asked for any vinyl or CDs, that he may just bring you something that you were hoping you might get. And I'm not sure when my other video will be up about the CDs that I picked up at the car boot. It might be up in between, but this is probably going to be my last update until next year anyway. So with that said, all the best everybody, and I'll see you soon. Ciao, and thanks for watching. I know it's quite long. Bye now.